The following is not suitable for children under the age of 18. This show contains coarse language and sexual themes that may be deemed over the top, as well as my own personal views. Please note all characters of the show are fiction and are not targets of anyone or anything, but are made up for complete satire.
It's back, bigger and badder than ever. Hit the music.
Hello my masters and welcome to the Sky Genie Show, the absolute worst show ever. We're on episode 25 of the Sky Genie Show. We have wrestling news and reviews of Raw and Smackdown. I will say I will be reviewing the British tournament over the weekend. I may do a show in between that. That depends on how busy I am, so I'm not 100% sure, so don't confirm that. But if I do, you get your Sky Genie fix. Yay! Don't recommend you go driving because you could be under the influence of the Sky Genie. Yeah, probably not a good idea to say that to a cop, as you'd probably get arrested for being high or something. Don't drive under the influence, people. Not good. Has anyone seen the new TNA logo? The Anthem Sports logo inserted into it. What the fuck is up with that bird? I mean, my guess, the A is the bird's asshole, and the bird shit is the wrestlers that come through it on the entrance. I don't know, it's my thought. I'm sticking with it. Deal with it. I'm kidding. So I keep hearing about this Meryl Streep going off at Donald Trump over with a joke. Donald Trump tweeting back. Whether you like him or not, people need to get the fuck over it. All these celebs that were going to leave America never did. They're all full of shit. That whole fucking Miley Cyrus bullshit. But then again, she probably tried and nobody wanted her. But anyway, moving on. I am looking to do a live show in the next couple weeks, so I've got Skype working, but we'll see. It's now time for everyone's least favourite segment, Tales of the Spooning Big Fat Hairy Guy. No matter your gender or your race, spooning Big Fat Hairy Dude is always waiting for you. Now for your favourite segment, the Sky Genie Update. Well, I guess it's that time of the show, and it's the big announcement. On the last episode of the Sky Genie Show, I gave a Genie Junior update that this episode there'll be two, not one, but two huge announcements of Genie Junior. So this is the Genie Junior update. Ladies and gentlemen, Genie Junior is getting married. I know, right? You're all excited. And they're having a baby. I'm going to be a grandparent at 28. And he's getting married to and having a baby with the llama. The fucking llama. Hey, impossible, right? I know what you're thinking. Sky Genie, that's illogical. It's happening. It's fucking happening. I mean, the kid's going to be half genie, half llama. He is a special boy. Don't go away. After the break, wrestling news. For fans of the show, please also check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Don Tony and Kevin Castle show is a hard-hitting, with brutal honesty type show, as they give their views on the world of professional wrestling and WWE. They're also on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch them live, listen to them on Mixlr. For my masters who are wondering if there will be Sky Genie shows throughout the Christmas New Year period, so sorry. Not for the normal show, But check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show. There you will find I review old wrestling shows from the past. I review them to today's standards. And to make it interesting, I won't even know what I'm reviewing until I do it. Of course I'll know before you, because I have to record the fucking thing, don't I? But it's filled with gags and more as well. So check out the holiday edition of the Sky Genie Show right here on my channel here on YouTube. Are you looking for a good laugh? Then check out Getting the Corner. Getting Dark Corner. Dark Corner. Dark Corner. With hosts Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Every Wednesday night at 9 PM on Mixlr. Check them out on Wednesdays at 9 PM on Mixlr. And we are back, and now for the wrestling news. WWE has announced that WrestleMania 34 will take place in New Orleans in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. New Orleans is apparently having a 300-year bicentennial. This will come 4 years after they hosted WrestleMania 30. Man, I wish I could go to that. Okada will be defending his IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Minoru Suzuki, following the return of Suzuki Gun at New Year's Dash. Suzuki Gun and LIJ are expected to be in high-profile matches. Noticeably absent will be the Bullet Club, especially Kenny Omega. To me, it's quite interesting. We have the official list of the British tournament competitors, and they are Trent Seven, Danny Burch, H.C. Dyer, Pete Dunne, Wolfgang, wonder if he's a werewolf, Jordan Devlin, Sam Gradwell, Tyler Bate, James Drake, Tucker, well I am feeling a little hungry, Tyson T-Bone, no thanks I'm straight, Joseph Connors, Dan Maloney, Roy Johnson, Mark Andrews, and Saxon Huxley. And what do these guys all have in common? I have no idea on who in the blue fuck these people are. And I watch a lot of independent wrestling. A lot. And that's it for the wrestling news. After the break, the reviews of Raw and Smackdown. For fans of the Sky Genie Show, please also make sure to check out Wrestling Soup. They drop at 9:30 on Thursday. Join hosts Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joey Numbers as they lightheartedly talk about what that's happening in professional wrestling, as well as other current events. While over there, please make sure to check out the Saturday morning shitbox. Have your voice and question heard as Mish and Joey answer questions on their thoughts of professional wrestling or anything else going around in the world. That show drops on Saturday morning-ish. The weeks it doesn't air is because they're doing pay-per-view Sunday. Yes, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view, Mish and Joey usually review it, sometimes with John Draper. They also have shows on Stitcher and iTunes. If you want to catch the boys live, check them out on Mixlr. For interesting discussion and debates on professional wrestling, check out Johnny Florida, Michael Corvin, and Old Man Jenkins on Wrestling's National Committee. They talk a wide range of topics on the world that is pro wrestling. Check them out on Wednesday at 9 PM on Mixlr. If you're looking for a very professional show to listen to the Solomonster Sounds off. His show, smokes this one entirely, is a very informative show. Join Jason Solomon as he gives his thoughts on the current events of professional wrestling. Catch his show on Podbean, Stitcher or iTunes. Also check out Jason Solomon's YouTube page where he does extras for pay-per-view shows or interviews with wrestlers in the business. Jason has interviewed the likes of Diamond Dallas Page, Bob Hardcore Holly, the legendary Jim Ross, and even Booker T. Definitely a show worth checking out. And we are back, and now for the wrestling reviews. And now for the Raw review. Now, I missed part of the start of this, where Stephanie said she was going to give Mick Foley job evaluation and all that bullshit, and I didn't particularly care. Go back and watch it. We start off with the US Championship Handicap match. Roman Reigns defending against Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Because it's every second or third week, Roman Reigns is facing one of the two, and it's been happening for the last 6 months. 6 fucking months. Before the match starts, Braun Strowman comes out, and all the heels attack Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins makes the save. Stephanie comes out, tells Roman she's going to give him time to heal up. The title match will be in the main event, but makes Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman for now. So after an ad break, we had Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. And this was an okay match. Something caught my attention, so I don't even remember who won. And I really don't care. So moving on, there's a backstage segment with Bayley and Sasha, Charlotte and Nia Jax. The heels attack the babyfaces. Charlotte tries to suck up to Nia Jax. Nia Jax shoves her against the wall. And whatever, moving on. Jack Gallagher versus Drew Gulak. This was an okay match with Jack Gallagher getting the win. After the match, they do an interview with him on 205 Live. He wants to have a talk to Daivari, sort out the issues, or they get to fisticuffs. Bet we know how that turns out. Backstage segment with Foley and Stephanie. Shawn Michaels comes out for a very pointless segment. Promotes his movie. Team Rusev comes out. Yeah, I call him Team Rusev because I couldn't be fucked saying all the names. Run down the movie saying they should put Lana in it. Kaz and Enzo come out, which leads to a match between Big Kaz and Jinder Mahal, which Big Kaz won. Shawn Michaels hit Rusev with a super kick during the match, and that was it. Then there was Neville versus Lince Dorado. Neville is the best thing to happen to the Cruiserweight division for sure. Neville wins after an okay match. After the match, Neville attacks the opponent. Swan makes the save. There's a backstage segment with Stephanie being the bitch, and leads to a tag team match between Bayley Sasha versus Charlotte and Nia Jax for later on. We then had Sheamus versus Luke Gallows in a boring match. Sheamus got the win. Cesaro and Carl Anderson were on commentary. That broke into a fight on the stage. There was a backstage interview with Roman Reigns. Foley goes into the ring to bring out The Undertaker. The lights go out, thinking it's The Undertaker, but instead it's Stephanie. She goes to give him a performance review. Then Undertaker comes out and says he'll be in the Royal Rumble. Backstage interview with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Then we have Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Charlotte and Nia Jax. After a pretty boring match, considering the people that's in the match, it was pretty boring. Charlotte and Nia Jax win. There was a segment with Titus O'Neil and the New Day, where they do a keg running challenge from his NXT days. He fails at it, and it leads to a match between Titus O'Neil and Kofi Kingston, which was an okay match, but it was pointless. Kofi Kingston gets the win. And then we came to the main event, thank God, for the United States Championship. Roman Reigns defending against Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. It was a slow but a good match. The heels being very dominant throughout the whole match. Your winner and new US champion, Chris Jericho. This win makes him a Grand Slam champion. Very rare feat. Overall, besides the main event, the show sucked ass. And this is after watching Wrestle Kingdom, which was an awesome fucking show. Now we're looking to WWE to say, hey, top this, and they don't. Instead, they do the exact opposite and make the most boring fucking show I have ever seen. So that was my Raw review. And now for the Smackdown review. The show opens up with Dean Ambrose in the Ambrose Asylum and announces that he will be in the Royal Rumble. The Miz comes out, who is his guest, and also announces that he will be in the Royal Rumble. But the Miz wants his IC title back and says that Dean Ambrose should give it back. Just hand it over to him. Give him back what he deserves. Ambrose agrees that he should give back something that he deserves. He gives him the Participation Award. Miz then beats down Ambrose. Maurice goes to slap Ambrose, but Ambrose ducks. She accidentally hits the Miz. Ambrose hits Miz with the Dirty Deeds. Gives Maurice the trophy and leaves. Natalya attacks Nikki Bella backstage. Oh, what a shame. Natalya versus Nikki Bella. Didn't happen. Didn't care. turned into a brawl, no contest. We then had a backstage interview with the new heel Dolph Ziggler, but he walked off and said nothing. We then had Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler. It was a good match with Kalisto getting the fluke win. After the match, Ziggler attacks Kalisto and hits him with a steel chair. He goes to leave. Apollo Crews comes out to fight Dolph Ziggler, but then Ziggler attacks them both with a steel chair and leaves. Backstage interview with American Alpha, and after the break, there was a backstage interview with John Cena. We then had a Smackdown Tag Team Championship match, American Alpha versus the Wyatt families, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. It was a great match. Luke Harper would cost the match. The winners and still champions, American Alpha. After the match, the Wyatt family argue in the ring. I honestly just want Randy Orton to RKO the fuck out of people, really. There was a backstage segment with Becky Lynch, Daniel Bryan, and Alexa Bliss. Next week, for the women's title, Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch inside a steel cage. We then had Carmella versus a jobber that JBL made fun of through the whole match. Be a star, JBL. Be a star. It was a squash match. A terrible squash match because Carmella is fucking terrible. Winner was Carmella. Fuckthis. Fuck this. There was a backstage segment with James Ellsworth and Carmella. Then a backstage interview with Baron Corbin. AJ Styles comes in. Apparently he's going to be on commentary for the match. So the main event, Baron Corbin versus John Cena in an okay match, with John Cena getting the clean win. Way to build those new stars, Vince. Have them pinned clean with no issue at all. Honestly, this is where a DQ finish works. You keep both guys strong and have it lead somewhere. But overall, it was an okay show, but it was nothing special. And that is my Smackdown review. And that'll be it for this episode of the Sky Genie Show. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. If you can and would like to support the show, please donate on the homepage of my channel. Your donations go to improve the quality of this show. Check us out on our website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. On Facebook, it's the Sky Genie Show page. On Twitter, it's SDD916. On Instagram, it's SkyGenie_1988. Thank you for listening. I just gotta say though, burning big fat hairy guy made these awesome pancakes. Man, I'm so full I can't even move. And what are you doing? Why are you looking at me with that crazed look, with your fingers out like you're trying to get me to do something to me? Help me. Help me!